Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, admittedly, we're kind of cutting it a little close to the due date.
Yeah.
I will admit.
Just a little.
Yeah, I apologize for that. But
Get the stirrups!
Exactly.
We're going to birth this thing right now.
Exactly. But at least I have a good story to tell.
Hot dang.
Alright, now typically we tend to film these on either Saturday or Sunday, typically Sunday.
Yes.
Which, that's fine.
That's the average.
Yeah, that's about the average. But this weekend was the local Renaissance Fair. Well, I say local, but it was the next state over.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away the location, because, I'm pretty sure we've made it clear what country we're in. And for the more perceptive people...
North of the equator.
Yeah, north of the equator. And the more perceptive can probably locate which section of said country we're in. But I don't want to give out too many details, not right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It'd be a lot safer for people, say, you're from California, you say you're from LA. Which part of LA? LA is not a city. It's like 88 cities stacked on top of each other. Yeah.
It's a little different.
Oh, yeah. Honestly...
It's the world's largest parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Atlanta's like the world's largest parking lot.
Yes.
And New York is probably like second.
It's definitely in the top 5.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, Chicago is not a parking lot because too many people keep getting shot.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but hang on, I want to adjust the pop filter a little bit. Yeah, it made a little bit of a difference. But, no, LA, here's the thing. There's Hollywood, and then there's West Hollywood, because the West seceded from Old Hollywood. That's how big LA is. It's not a city. It's basically its own country, like Texas at this point. Except it's a lot smaller than Texas.
Yeah, when you have all those people in the same spot.
Uh-huh. It's basically your own country, which, for better or for worse, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I had the local Renaissance Festival. Woo! Because I'm white and nerdy. Nah, it was actually a lot more varied than I thought it would be. Because I thought it'd just be all white people. Maybe like a couple, just like a handful of non-beige looking individuals. There was a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, it's a little different for folks from my generation.
Oh, yeah.
When we were younger, you wore costumes for, Halloween and, the occasional bank robbery.
That was about it.
But that was only prior to the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah.
8th graders robbing banks.
Well,
the good old days.
Hey. To see a whole bunch of people costumed out. Somebody's on their... Some suit somewhere is on their lunch break.
Uh-huh.
And they're sitting out, and they're so busy that they have no idea that this is taking place, and all of a sudden, the entire Marvel Universe walks past him.
Uh-huh.
And you know what?
And it's just a group of people going to Comic-Con or something.
Yeah, and if that inspires somebody,
uh-huh.
Hey, why not? As long as it's legal and it doesn't turn into a free-for-all.
Oh, yeah.
On Donnybrook. Absolutely.
Yes.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
But, there was a lot of varied individuals at the Renaissance Fair. It wasn't just white people, there was other folk, black folk, there was Hispanic.
Sure.
There was like a small group of Asian folk, too.
I'm telling you, there's this through line culture that draws everybody.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They try to, I don't know, I people putting up fences. It's so interesting. These things that people are talking about tearing fences down or putting fences up.
Yeah, that's weird. Admittedly, I think part of that process. Cool. I think part of that process is the fact that it's not that they don't want equality per se. They just want a certain level of equality that only they approve of. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that part in Animal Farm where initially it was all animals are equals, and then
Right.
later on they change it to, but some animals are more equal than others.
That's a natural progression of this dynamic that is taking place.
Oh, I know that.
Yes.
But that's kind of what I mean. There was like a small shop. Because here's the thing, the Renaissance Fair exists for like 3 reasons: food, shopping, entertainment. Also to get also a 4th reason is to get decked out in costume if you're feeling up for it, and get dehydrated and pass out. But
So a Renaissance Fair.
Yes.
Now that term to me
yeah,
means like Camelot and King Arthur type middle.
which is odd
not
because
Middle Earth, mid
Middle Ages.
Middle Age.
Yeah, that's kind of a misnomer, I will admit, because the Renaissance is like Da Vinci and Michelangelo and,
Sure.
art and science,
So,
religion
okay,
revival.
I get
But-
that classic presentation.
Yeah,
that's
but
kind of
the reality of it is it's portraying more so. It's mostly focused on the Middle Ages, but it's very anachronistic, especially nowadays.
So the other outside that universe are welcome
Yeah.
now as well.
Yes.
And there's
It doesn't just have to be Middle Ages. There are.
Is that just the theme of the party that you
It's
walked
basically
into?
it's basically like a costumed party, except there's a through line,
Right.
and as long as you kind of stick to the through line, you can vary it however which way you want.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. This particular, not obviously people dress up like it's the Middle Ages, but
Sure.
this past weekend there was people who were dressed as, I guess, Persian-esque assassins. There was like the
like from the same time.
I guess. Hey, ignore the pup. He's lonely,
Yeah.
and there's probably geese outside somewhere. I don't know. So, like the group of Asian American folk I mentioned, they had a small little shack, like a little kiosk, called the Silk Road.
Oh, that's cool.
And they
All right.
sold Asian-esque, specifically Asian Oriental attire.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey,
No, that
look, some people would call
fits.
it that fits.
That fits.
Some people call it stereotypical,
Why? Because that's
exactly.
it was their backyard.
Yeah, it's not racist. That's their culture.
That's their culture.
And they chose it.
Yeah.
They had to. It'd be racist if someone said, "Oh, you're Asian, you get the shop called Silk Road. You don't have another option." No,
Right.
they have to pick it themselves.
Right.
And that's what they chose. So it's not racist, people. It's not stereotypical because they're the ones doing it.
Right.
Not to get too outside of not to get too far outside of that vent. It's like when black comedians make jokes about eating chicken and drinking grape soda.
Right.
That's their thing. I'm not making fun of them, but that's just that's their thing.
That's if somebody is talking about their own culture.
Mm-hmm. It's not stereotypical. It's not racist. That's their culture.
Calm down, people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, would you get mad if a Southern American person was like, biscuits and Bojangles?
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Would you get mad at that? No, because that's their culture.
So he traveled out of the area.
Exactly.
They would be surprised at some beer I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would drink some swill.
Yeah.
It's like no, we were. It was actually a topic of discussion between two people.
What the fact that you didn't drink Southern Comfort?
Well, no, that they were trying to
Southern Comfort is perfume.
trying to they were from a different part of the country and they were trying to determine what kind of beer to buy.
That you would buy.
That I would buy. I just thought, first of all,
Well, they didn't ask you.
Well, there's nothing wrong with hospitality, but I mean that type of mindset. Obviously, I would. If I knew something specific about somebody, but I wouldn't go to the store. I would buy what I I would buy what I wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe something exotic.
Sure. Sure. I like doing that.
But I wouldn't stand there thinking, they're from blank part of the North America, and gee, I wondered if they drink that.
Exactly.
I just never that type of consideration ever. I mean,
to me, I would be like, hey, what do you like to drink?
Yeah.
And if I can find it, I'll get it for you. Like, give me your top 3 favorite beers, and if I can find one of them, I'll get it for you.
Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it's so interesting to watch, a beer turn into such a premium and affluent thing.
Which is kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
As long as it's not Keystone.
I don't know. I don't remember having any. It was a
Keystone.
Very long time ago.
Yeah, but Keystone is basically is the modern day bottom of the bin, except for IPAs, but they're kind of in the same lump.
They sell it.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when they didn't exist, and all of a sudden they showed up one day. They got some of my money.
All right, that's fine.
That was a long time ago.
But
they're still here.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. But I mean, here's the thing. The Renaissance Fair. Let's see. There was the Silk Road kiosk. There was people dressed as Persian assassins. There were people dressed as fairies, as fae folk, as witches. Obviously, there was like peasants.
But all within that genre.
All kind of within the genre. But then there's people who go outside the beaten path, but it makes sense. There was a dude dressed as the 11th Doctor at that fair yesterday.
Oh, that was cool.
Yes, as the Matt Smith Doctor.
Right.
Bow tie, tweed jacket, and everything.
That's cool.
That counts.
Yeah, that counts. That's a plausible segue.
Exactly.
Because you could see him.
Yeah.
In that background, yes.
Unfortunately, there was no Trekkies. I mean, there were probably Trekkies there, but no one was dressed as the red shirt or the science officer like you and I had contemplated.
Yeah.
I actually asked some of the staff. I was like, hey, you get any Trekkies? Like, Starship Fleet, Starfleet people? And apparently the rule of thumb with Renaissance fairs and Star Trek people, there is a protocol.
I knew it.
I knew it too. There had to, because we could not have been the only people to think it up. No, it's impossible. There is an actual Star Trek protocol. If people were to show up in like the yellow, the red, or the blue shirts, waving tricorders around, talking on communicators, William Shatnering it up.
Oh, that must be beautiful.
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 If there was a motherfucker dressed as a Vulcan, a Klingon, or a Romulan, or a Borg, yeah. If someone was cosplaying as Q, there is a protocol. If someone shows up in Starfleet uniform...
Billy club them till they quit moving?
Apparently, yes. I would.
Ooh, that's going to take commitment, I'm telling you.
Because you got to commit when you're Q. John Delancey pulled it off perfectly well, and that's about as far as I can handle it. Because Q, at some point, he just kind of got annoying.
John Delancey...
He was perfect.
He maxed out as a soap opera actor.
And that's fine.
And what he brought to that Q role, was definitely
he was definitely a good. I felt he was definitely a good contrast
afternoon soap opera.
Oh yeah.
Style to it. Oh heck yeah.
And I definitely feel he was a good contrast to Patrick Stewart, who was this classically trained British actor.
Oh, yeah.
This classically trained Shakespearean actor, and he has to be opposite John motherfucking Delancey.
It's like Batman and Joker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except not as hostile. Well, that's debatable, actually. So anyway, there is a protocol for Star Trekkers at Renaissance fairs.
How interesting.
So if people were to show up in the full Starfleet uniform, waving tricorders around, talking to communicators, people dressed in the Renaissance getup, like as the peasants and in costume.
Mm-hmm.
They are to go up to the full uniformed people, show them their Starfleet communication badges under their robes, and give them shit for breaking protocol. What's it called? Where they're supposed to blend into the planet's culture that they arrive at. Basic protocol.
Oh, the Prime Directive.
They're violating the Prime Directive by being in full uniform.
Yes. Oh, you know what?
I am not
That's
fucking
the only
with
way
you.
to get control of it.
Yes. That is the Renaissance Fair protocol for Star Trek
that's
people.
Dirty pool right there.
Yes, they're breaking Prime Directive if they show up in full uniform. Now, here's the thing: you're not going to kick you out, but they're going to give you shit for it.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
That's too funny.
Yes. This has happened enough time where it's basically an unwritten rule amongst Renaissance Fair folk.
Oh, I got you.
They give Star Trek full uniform people shit for violating the Prime Directive.
It's like having an 88 Magnum.
Yes.
It shoots through tools.
I'm drinking tea. Damn it.
Oh, that's awful.
So here's the thing. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I are big enough Trek.
No.
You and I are big enough Trek nerds
No.
where we could pull that off and have a verbal sparring match with these clowns. No, I mean clowns in an affectionate way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if I didn't mean it in an affectionate way, I would say ass clowns.
ICP.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't mind ICP, but the fan base scares the shit out of me.
I'm telling you something. The two brothers found their thing.
They found their thing.
They found their thing. God bless them.
Yeah.
It pays their bills.
Yes. Their fan base scares the shit out of me. They're actually on the FBI's most watched list.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they were at some point.
It was.
I remember.
Well, you know.
I don't want to get on that subject, but
No, neither.
Juggalos and juggalettes scare me. Official.
No,
Quote that.
But
So they have a protocol for trekkers, which I thought was funny as hell, and I went, man.
Is that written down somewhere?
No, it's an unofficial rule. They just share it with each other because the internet exists, and obviously the leaders of Renaissance fairs have to talk to each other.
Sure.
They have to.
Sure.
You know, get ideas, swap information, you know, gatekeep people who take it too far.
That verbal exchange must be outrageous.
Yes.
I would love to be a file.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah,
that is too
This is
funny.
why I think you and I we would have the cojones to actually show up in full Starfleet uniform and start fucking with people.
I'd have to pot. No,
No, not Starfleet. We show up as the Empire version. The evil universe where instead of the Federation, it's the Empire.
Oh yeah.
The like evil Spock. We could be that.
Yeah.
Like we're not Starfleet, we're the Empire. So fuck you.
Your position is highly illogical.
You fucking wingnut. I remember that. Yes. We could show up as the evil versions of the universe.
Oh, that would be terrible.
But anyway, moving on from that. I just wanted to tell you that because that is amazing.
Oh, that's a fancy tickler right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a protocol.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Cool and sad at the same time.
Shut up. You're just mad because you didn't get to do it first.
No, the fact that the people that are a part of this gathering,
they have rules about it.
They have to have like a badge under their garments.
Just in case someone shows up.
Just in case, you know.
No, I get it.
Somebody Starfleet wigs out.
Exactly. So what ends up happening is, so I get that conversation. Me and a bunch of other game night people. There was 5 of us. So we're all just tooling around, and, I'm looking around. This place is fucking expensive. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Renaissance fairs are expensive.
It's not for the peasants.
No, it is not for the peasants, which is a weird dichotomy.
It's an extremely weird dichotomy.
Yes. You're being sold stuff by peasants, but you're paying a king's ransom for all the it you're buying, which, whatever. Hey, I kind of figured, I just didn't know how much.
I'll take the blue one. It pleases me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of circling in and out of mostly a good number of the shops were basically costume/clothiers.
Right.
There was at minimum 5 places where they sold kilts. At minimum.
Sure.
The bare minimum 5.
Any peasant skirts?
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of peasant skirts, royalty wear, a lot of belly dancer wear. But a lot of it was, I don't want to say it wasn't handmade, but definitely something I could very easily get off of Amazon.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I could get it from Amazon cheaper, There wasn't a lot of handmade stuff.
Not a lot of hand. Okay,
yes,
I got
if
you.
I was to... Now, I have...
Because you would know.
Yeah, because I would know.
You would know.
I have hemmed and hawed in the past about being a dancer, but I never explicitly said what I was. Here is a good example. I am a belly dancer. That's part of the name.
Yes.
In case no one caught it before. So, hang on. So, I went to the Renaissance Fair going, they've got something.
Sure.
They got something for me, and they did. But if I'm going to pay a lot of money for something, I would much rather have something that was handmade.
Right.
Something that was made by a person and not a machine. Like the coin belts. The coin belts are so readily available on Amazon or Walmart or Spirit Halloween or whatever,
Right. Sure.
So I would much rather have one that was, if I was to have anything, I'd rather have it handmade from that fair for that price.
For that price, yeah.
Yes. I did end up finding some stuff.
And if you find something that's handmade that you really like, that
even
better, maybe higher than that.
Yes.
If you really like it.
Oh yeah.
So.
Like, for example, I found I found a couple of things, but 2 of the definite belly dance realm is a hand-dyed 25-yard skirt. It goes from the top black and it ombres into red at the bottom, like a blood red. And I was like, ooh.
Blood red closer to the tip or the...
blood red closer to like the hem of the skirt. Like where it touches the floor. That part.
Gotcha.
And an actual leather bralette.
Yeah.
That I changed out of because it was hot because I was wearing some stuff. Because where I was, it was humid. I didn't wear all of my things that I wanted to wear, but I wore like at least 25% of it. That was still too hot.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Maybe a different color scheme.
It's what I had. I was gonna wear red, but all that stuff was too heavy.
Yeah.
So it would have been no bueno regardless.
No bueno.
Let's see. I got one of those like Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Strider, Aragorn?
Yeah.
His elven waifu, Aelwyn.
Something like that.
Yeah, the black-haired elf woman that he was in love with.
Mm-hmm.
It was either her or Galadriel. Like they had a particular headband of silver in their hair.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was like weaved metal. I bought something like that.
Cool.
The reason why I bought that was because very early on at the arrival at the fair, I bought actual elf ears. And I mean special effects elf ears.
Yeah.
Made of some kind of rubber polythene, whatever. that, according to the people that sold it to me, was if I took care of them, put it in like a plastic baggie or something, would last up to 3 years.
Man, that's scary.
No, it's not. They sold me spirit gum to go along with it. They matched it to my skin tone.
Uh-huh.
Like, they actually put the ear to my face and were like, oh, okay, and just like slapped it with a bunch of like flesh-colored tinting until
they've done that before.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 20 years, so they should know what they're doing.
They should.
Uh-huh. And it looked good. I specifically went up to them at the kiosk and I went, hey, you guys got any of them Vulcan ears? And they were like, yes.
Right this way.
Yeah, right this way. They literally said that, right this way. So I got a pair of Vulcan ears, mostly because the other options was like really whimsical, like one that came like 7 inches away from your head, like these little pixie weird looking ears from out here.
Okay.
Or like sea elf ears where it looked like it had gills, and I was like, what the fuck is that? What kind of mythology is that? It has to be Scandinavian or something. Yeah. I'm not trying to look like a mermaid, guys. I want to look like a Vulcan.
Yep.
And looking back on the pictures, I don't look Vulcan because here's the thing. With Spock, the ears are very subtle. I mean, they're there, but they're not in your face. The ones I've got, they're kind of in your face. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Because they look nice.
Hold back the hair.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, they definitely hold back the hair. I also got 2 wooden daggers, which I haven't shown you yet. They're made of wood. They're not sharp.
Wooden daggers made of wood.
Yes.
Aight.
Don't question me.
Dude.
So I walked in there as like a normal, average human belly dancer. And I walked out of it as like this elven princess-looking blade dancer.
Cool.
Because apparently that was just what I needed in my life. There was jousting. One of the people that were jousting was Hispanic.
Cool.
Because he shouted Spanish at the crowd when he announced himself.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so...
Don Quixote.
Yeah, it wasn't Don Quixote, but I was too far back. I thought he said Don Quixote.
Exists.
Yeah, I know. And so that was kind of fun, the jousting. There was axe throwing, knife throwing, shuriken throwing. There was not as much alcohol as I thought there would be. Roasted turkey legs, shopping, an actual combat-ready weapon shop.
Well.
That did not have scimitars.
I hope they had the next gathering posted so you'd have an opportunity to carry said weapon that you were getting ready to purchase.
Yeah, I know. No, honestly, the only weapon at that combat-ready shop that I had any interest in purchasing, had I not held myself back because I had to conserve money, was a rapier. Because the shop had, like, maces and warhammers, bastard swords, Lord of the Rings sword, like, combat-ready Lord of the Rings swords, like Aragon sword. There's always that one.
Sure.
Damascuses, gladiuses, all sorts. There was only one rapier in that shop. Basket-handled, straight blade. Had to have been like 8 to 10 pounds-ish. Because it's heavy.
What was the balance?
Right just above the hilt. The basket.
Right.
Where it's supposed to be.
Cool.
Yeah. And it was Damascus, patterned.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
It had that weird metallic acid wash on the blade. So not only was it combat ready, it looked pretty.
Sounds expensive.
It was like $550.
Whoa.
Yeah. But here's the problem. I took fencing for several years. That was the only weapon in that shop I knew how to use. I mean, I could probably take some pot shot to someone with a long sword.
Sure.
With, maybe some of the daggers and short
Prang.
swords. Yeah.
Prang.
Yeah. But the rapier, I used to take saber and epee and a little bit of foil. So that rapier was about the closest thing to a saber that I could feasibly get my hands on that is combat ready. And I said to the folks I was with...
You knew you were going to have to fight your way out of that town when that whole thing was over. Right?
Uh-huh, exactly. And I told my friends that came with me, I was like, do not purchase a rapier for me. Do not, I'm not getting this, I want it. I do.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple of swords, they're mostly decoration, because I don't know how to use them.
Right.
I knew how to use that.
That's cool.
And I told them, don't, not even as a joke, do not get me a combat-ready rapier or a saber of sorts.
There's nothing you can do with it.
Oh, I know. Hey, what am I going to do? Carry it around town and challenge people to a duel?
Yeah, it's still going to be ornamental.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless someone decides they want to break into my house and they somehow get past all of the animals. It's like, okay, you got past the dogs. Hey, guess what? Shh.
Yeah.
Take your fucking eye out.
Yeah.
Because I almost did that. One time, me and my ex, we were like at a Walmart or something in the crafts aisle because I'm crafty like that. He picks up one of those wooden dowels and he starts poking me with it, thinking like, ooh, what you gonna do? So I picked up one of those wooden dowels too, and I started fencing him with it. He didn't know what he was doing. I knew what I was doing. And at some point, I get into a groove. I disarmed him, knocked the dowel out of his hand, and hit him right next to his right eye. Had I hit him harder, I could have given him a good whelp and blinded him. Yeah, and I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened, on instinct.
Right.
What they're supposed to train you in martial arts schools. Basically get it to be second nature.
Right.
For me, striking him at his face, his eyes especially, it was second nature. And I never forgot that story. So when I picked up that rapier and I took it out of its hilt and I held it forward, that story came back into my mind. That story prevented me from buying that sword. Because if I fucked around with somebody, I could kill someone with it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No. I mean, would you trust? I mean, it's like, would you trust an ex-military sniper with a Nerf rifle, with a Nerf gun? Yeah, it's a Nerf gun. They're probably gonna figure out how to kill somebody with it, or even a BB gun. They're better than you with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, don't challenge the soldier to a Nerf battle. You will lose.
Save your dough.
Oh yeah.
Because if you got anything exotic like that, it'd still be a decoration.
Which is unfortunate.
Well,
but it would always.
You said it yourself. You can't go around town challenging people to do.
Yeah, I still want it for reals. I still want it, but.
Well,
Just, make it a family heirloom.
Somebody's got to keep the dragon from getting over the moat.
No, I know. So, that was kind of my adventures. We all had fun, almost died of dehydration because it was our first time. It was me and a couple other people's first times at a Renaissance fair. Sure. We didn't bring a backpack, bring water and Gatorade for electrolytes. Bring sunscreen, because I saw some people didn't bring sunscreen. Yeah, that was fun for those folk.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And don't wait at a restaurant for 2 hours. We made that mistake.
2 hours?
Yes. So, we put in a reservation that would be an hour in advance. Yeah. And when the time was supposed to show up for us to show up for that hour, we waited another hour for the tables to clear. Yeah, that was dumb, but whatever. I got a scotch egg and I got some hot tea. So what do you expect?
Sure.
All right, so that was basically it. That was basically it. It was really fun. It was nice conversing with people. Some people made me nervous.
There's always one.
No. Multiple people made me nervous. I'm just telling you, look, I was tooling around the last 2 to 3 hours we were there with those elf ears, with that headband, with those wooden daggers in hand, and the belly dance getup.
Right.
There apparently, and I knew these people existed.
Yeah.
And I probably should have known better, but it slipped my mind because dehydration was a little setting in just a tad bit.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that there is a large population of people that want to fuck an elf.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh,
yeah, yeah, so it's like it's basically a belly dancer dressed in black, midriff showing and everything, the jewels and everything, all the jinglies, elven ears, the like elven princess headband, and they got like the 2 wooden daggers.
Interesting.
And I immediately became 200% hotter, apparently. I became 200% more attractive in that environment.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate that.
Got to go looking for those film crews that are doing interviews and slide in there.
Had there been any, I would have.
There wasn't any.
Mm-mm.
You're kidding.
No, there wasn't.
Oh.
There was no news crews, nothing. It's semi-regular, so I guess that just no one cares.
What about well, see, no, see, that's my mindset. So I got updated. They don't have to have news crews.
Oh.
Everybody knows they're doing blogs and vlogs.
This is true.
And so
we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah, doing,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to, see, that's the whole thing, see, because I'm picturing some guy in like a really, Herb Tarlick, ill-matched sport coat with a big bushy head of hair and a big Brussels.
Someone that looks out of place.
Yeah, looks out of place.
Like too
big
out of place.
Ties,
Yeah.
polyester pants.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Someone who wasn't trying to look like Doctor
With a microphone
Who.
with
Yeah.
a cord that's still attached to some dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, there was none of that.
So everything now is going like handheld digital.
Oh, there was a bunch of people who were like recording their vacations and their days with phones and whatnot, but they didn't look official.
Right.
All I know is I spent the last 2 to 3 hours at that Renaissance fair looking like the elven princess blade dancer from like the deleted scenes of Lord of the Rings or some shit. Last 2 to 3 hours I looked like
Did
that.
somebody speak Elvish to you?
Yes.
Oh.
I only understood. I understood like one sentence they said because it was something that Aragorn said to Eowyn when they were together.
Man.
Yes. Someone fucking spoke Elvish to me.
Oh boy. Well, hey, gotta have a hobby.
I know. It made me laugh. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening? My hair is frazzled. I look like an elf. I'm clearly dehydrated and a little red. Not like burnt, because I usually don't get burnt.
No.
But I'm like...
you will get red at first.
I'll get red at first, but it settles into a golden red.
And then it'll settle to a brown.
Yeah, like a gold red brown.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. That's just how you and I are. You become more bright red than I do, but that's okay. You still settle to a red brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people, they didn't hit on me, but I became eye candy. Because they were, remember, these are still nerds. Only a few people actually came up and talked to me.
I was curious, but you did take some pictures, so that's cool.
I did. The guy that I told you he got his first kilt at that fair.
Yeah.
The guy that sold him the kilt gave him a huge discount just because I was in the building and talking to him. he dropped it like at least 50%, and I was like, yes, you owe me your life.
That's funny. Getting free stuff.
Oh yeah, or at least semi-free stuff.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, people, I would go into shops, the clerks, they would put me in front of their fans to cool me off. There was some guys playing bagpipes and drums, and since I was the only person there were folks dressed as belly dancers. I was the only one that proved I was a belly dancer. Because when the music started playing, I'm just doing basic, drills, moving my arms and doing a regular, hip lifts, piston hips or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Belly dance isn't codified. It's not like ballet. So I'm just doing typical, like very basic 101 level stuff, and I was blowing people's minds. And it's like, oh my god!
Should have had a hat to lay down. Could have got you some plastic jewels and some deeds to Yon Castle.
I was just lucky. I already had huge tracts of land.
That's too funny. Well, that's cool.
Yes. So that was my trip. It was fun. I'm going to do it again.
That's neat.
And in the colder months,
lost in something like
yeah,
that.
and in the colder months, I'm going to wear my performance grade gear, and I will go to town. Like in the fall and the winter.
Right.
Those heavy skirts and heavy belts I wanted to wear, I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah, with all that twirling?
With all the twirling
Ooh.
and all the, the Mayas and all that.
What's so crazy is when...
and I'm still wearing the ears.
All that fabric.
Yes.
It connects with people.
It's hypnotic.
It really is hypnotic.
Yeah,
yes.
25-yard skirts are the shit.
I mean, you can bear down, and then you get to a point where the person that's the viewer's not really involved in the entire thing going on.
Yes.
They become focused on one or 2 points.
Yes.
But when all that fabric is going,
it definitely draws a crowd.
It gives you the whole thing, and that's really cool.
The one thing I was definitely happy I didn't bring was my scimitar. My dancing sword.
Well, you don't know if you're going to get... They're going to let you in the gate with that.
I'm pretty sure if I talked to some people in charge, I could have, but they don't know me.
I don't know. I don't know. You could buy it once you got in.
Yeah,
there,
I could buy a permit or something. I'm pretty sure they sell them or something. Like, I go up to a kiosk and say, hey...
Do you see anybody bring any in with them?
Only one, and that
Really?
only the one group, and that was because they were those were the groups of the Persian assassins, but they had little itty bitty daggers and throwing knives that were on their legs and hips and shit. But they didn't take them out.
Nobody walked in with a cleaver.
No one walked in with a halberd. No one walked in with a sword unless it was wooden.
Well, I mean that sword that you have it's.
Yeah, it's not sharp, but I'm pretty sure I could hurt someone if I tried hard enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
I don't know if they'd let you in with that.
I don't know. Who knows? I'll figure it out one day.
I mean, if you were going there to specifically do a performance,
yes,
sure,
yes, they
absolutely.
would. But just to mill around, no.
Nah.
And even then, I don't want to carry a sword with me the whole day.
Yeah, you want to carry the thing around for 6 hours.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I did have my veil.
Oh, good.
But I didn't get to use it because everyone was kind of crowding me, and it's get the fuck away. So that's okay.
Oh, you need this.
No, maybe a veil face covering.
That just shows tip bottom of the nose or the ridge of the nose and the eyes.
I could get one of those, yeah.
And then
yes,
the magic here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those half face veils. That would also look good because of the beer flu and all that.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so
check it out.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll find one. All right, so I had fun.
Cool.
And is there anything you want to talk about?
Oh.
Because I got others. I got more stuff. We got about 16 minutes ish.
Well.
It's okay.
Not really.
I can keep carrying the conversation.
No.
All right,
Kinda caught me off guard.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So essentially, what has happened is and technically we can go over time because I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Thank God.
I gotta work.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. At all? Okay.
Yeah, I'm off the next 2 days because I'm just. This segues into what I wanted to talk about. I'm at the point where I'm at my wit's end at my job. Because here's the thing. I'm doing 2 jobs for the price of one in the middle of summer where it can easily get up to 100 degrees in those warehouses because of the lack of wind and the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it wasn't for the fact I was doing 2 jobs, I could have carried on until Christmas like my original plan, got the free Christmas bonus, and then immediately turned in my 2 weeks.
Sure.
I could have done that. But now, because they've driven off that other person and I'm doing their job, and I don't get the feeling they're looking for a replacement.
Right.
Because for the longest time, people at the other building thought I was just this shiftless, lazy moron.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, they definitely did, which I'm not entirely sure why they thought that, but whatever, it's office politicking.
Sure.
What do you expect? And then they actually get their hands on me and make me do stuff, and they see, hey, she's not a shiftless, lazy moron like we all thought.
Yeah.
So at some point I realized, oh, you're not gonna look for a replacement, are you? Plus, there's a huge quote-unquote labor shortage, and people don't want to work what they were paying for anyway.
Right.
So I put 2 and 2 together, and now I'm just like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, very, very quickly. Almost immediately. Because coming from the high I had from the Renaissance Fair here's the thing, it's not the transition back to reality that stumbles me for a lot of folk. Because some people, they don't want to leave that Ren Fair environment, and I get it.
Oh, yeah.
They live for shit like that, and I kind of do too, but I know that on the other side, we have to go back to normalcy, we have to go back to reality, as much as we don't like it at the current moment for a lot of people.
Well, I mean, you have to take it as it is.
Yeah, you have to take it as it is. You know, you can't appreciate the rainy days without the sunny days. Or whatever Matisha Adams said. So, it's not the transition back to reality for me. It's just the transition back to the 100-degree warehouse doing 2 jobs at once reality that I'm currently living in.
Right. I know. I mean, when they'll come up with all kind of reasons to, it allows them to abuse a worker.
I mean, it's like you take a week off to go to the beach or the mountains or an amusement park or Disney World or wherever your favorite vacation spot is, and then immediately you're going back to an 80-hour work week.
Yeah.
That hard, jarring slam into that wall. That's what got me today.
Yeah, that's an experience everybody needs, because you need to understand that's where goal setting and ambition, hard work, that's where those types of things come into play. Yes,
where you want to be like, hey, I don't want the party to stop.
Right.
And I don't. So, I mean, it doesn't mean I want to spend every day at the Ren Fair, but still.
Yeah.
And
it's that kind of it's just symbolic of what you want.
Exactly. And what had happened was, I wake up at 6, but I was fully rested. You know, and I'm doing my morning routine. My mom comes in and she's like, "Hey, can you take me to work?" And I was like, "I thought we were I thought we were taking someone else's vehicle." She's like, "No, you gotta take me to work." I was like, "Ugh." So I gotta rush through my morning routine. I wasn't mad per se. I was upset with her because it was the morning, not because it wasn't because she interrupted. I
thought she asked you last night.
No, she told me she wanted to go get Nana's car. She didn't say take me to work.
Thought that's what I heard.
No, that is no.
Say that.
Nope. Because here's the thing: if she had said, "I want to go get Nana's car so I can go to work," or if she had told me she needed me to take her to work, I would have drastically changed my morning routine. But she interrupted my process. Now, granted, I was mad because my process got interrupted, but I was also mad because it was the morning, and I'm not a morning person per se. I can be functional in the morning, but you got to give me at least an hour and a half in order for me to fully caffeinate and eat. Like most normal human beings, I guess.
I don't know.
Look, psychopaths wake up early in the morning and are talkative.
I guess.
You wake up at 5.
I don't know any personally.
Yeah, you wake up at 5 in the morning and you're talking to someone and you go for a jog. You're out of your mind.
I don't know. I've been there.
Well, congratulations. That's not me.
That was high school.
Yeah, that's not me.
Nope.
So I get to the morning shift, which is the first job that shouldn't even be my job, and someone calls out sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I get their job on top of my job. Because typically I do the clerical stuff. You know, records, printing labels, product transfers, stuff. With occasional lifting boxes. When people call out sick, I have to do all the clerical stuff on top of lifting 60-pound boxes for a determined amount of time, which usually is between 3 to 6 hours. In the morning. And then after 12 o'clock, which is my quote-unquote lunch, they don't know I take lunch at 1, but I'm not telling them any different.
Sure.
I go to my original building, and I'm already exhausted because of the heat and the heavy lifting. And then I gotta do my normal job, which is more heavy lifting, printing labels, except I gotta do it entirely different.
Oh.
So I have to jump through a bunch of physical and mental hoops. Not to get into too many details. But it was a Herculean effort in order for me to maintain being human. Today at work, it was the first time in a very long time when I felt like I was something else wearing a person suit. And I don't mean that in a nefarious way, like I am a creature of darkness and despair, a demon of malice, wearing a skin suit of a noble, gallantly beautiful woman. No.
Get out of my head.
Exactly. You're not a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, flip-flop it, you know.
Just saying.
But today was definitely the first time I was like, you see movies,
right?
I guess that one of the better examples, not as extreme, but American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
When the main character, I forget his name, the main character, he's in the nurse's house. And that's when he's like reading a book and then he's just spontaneously transforming into the werewolf.
Uh-huh.
That moment where he's like reading the book and goes, "Oh God, oh, I'm on fire. It feels like I'm on fire." That moment between him being that person and screaming in agony that something's inside of him or something's changing, and then the actual point of him physically changing into that werewolf.
Yeah.
That was me today.
Oh.
That it was that middle ground where you were between a human and something else.
You spent too much time at that Ren Fair.
I must have. I guess all the people talking elvish to me, elven to me, must have gotten to my head somehow.
Yes.
Because it was this weird feeling of I have to get out of this warehouse or I'm going to go feral or I'm going to just run. I have to run away.
Well, the thing about it is I mean, you're going to have to slow down.
I know.
I reached a point where I had a crossroads one time, and I realized that what was happening to me was taking days off the end of my life. And what happens is they will administrations and suits, they won't give you everything you need to succeed, and then they will criticize you when you fail.
Exactly.
And so sometimes you got to let the place drown.
Because
as long as you continue you're treading water just to keep them functional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, and here's the thing.
That's tough.
You know what? Here's the thing. You know why I don't feel about this? This whole thing about I feel like I'm wearing a person suit feeling I had today.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it. You want to know why?
Yes.
Here's a little insider's clue. I got word that there is a not really planned. It's not like a union, like, oh, we're going to walk out on the job until you pay us better.
Ooh.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like a loosely, a bunch of people have kind of come together and they've kind of decided to leave.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a massive exodus from that job, mostly from my building.
Right.
Because there's me who, I'm trying to basically become personal trainer so I can make however much money I choose.
Yeah.
And make my own schedule, tell me what to do for an hour.
Sure.
Which, that's always been my dream. I mean, not for an hour, but make money telling people what to do. I like that. Genuinely so.
Sure.
And I just want to kind of springboard it into, you and I compiling a money pool for trading.
Sure.
Obviously it will take some time, but the funds always have to be there. So that's always just been my goal.
Yeah, there's no sense, if you can find the same money doing something more comfortable, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So...
Because I'm going to tell you something, what you don't realize what you've accomplished in this place, okay, you literally can take, because there's so much, one of the major industry nobody really pays any attention to is shipping.
This is true.
It is so, imagine what...
There's a lot that can go wrong.
I know, but imagine what a supervisor of shipping would make, say, for Amazon.
This is true.
You see what I'm saying?
That is...
It's a huge thing.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something. What you've learned,
I have,
believe it or not, is you have learned the right way to do something and the wrong way to do something. And my traveling around different emergency departments across the United States, you learn what works and you learn what does not work. And
you keep the meat throughout the bones.
Keep the meat throughout the bones. And it allows you to, those types of positions aren't. They're not cat food anymore. But
no, not really.
There's some big money going on shipping today.
Oh, I get it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and if hypothetically I wanted to go back to shipping, first and foremost, I would demand a manager position because I think I deserve it.
That's
not because I'm egotistical.
No, you now have the ability to. You don't realize it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't realize how.
Yeah. Like to the point where this actually happened the other week, where one of my game night friends, she was like, I ordered this thing from a website and they're and it's taking really long, and I asked them, oh really, what shipping service do they offer you? And they goes like USPS, and I was like, oh, shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that.
Right.
No ma'am, you should not have done that. What do you mean I shouldn't have done that? You shouldn't have done that. You know how it says between 7 to 10 business days? Yeah, no, it's more like 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
3 to 4 weeks with
Oh,
USPS. Mm-mm. And you're gonna be lucky if they give it to you. Mm-mm. Should not have done that.
Right.
I mean, if you don't have an option, that's different.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you don't have an option, you just kind of have to suck it up and just let it go. But if you had the option to pick something else, FedEx so far for me personally has been the most reliable, except when they fuck up. In my experience, FedEx has been the most consistently reliable, but when they fuck up, oh my god. There will be like a solid period of 4 to 5 days where they lose everything you give them. And the person who holds the wallet at my company, she's the purse strings.
Right.
I have to tell her every single one of the packages that is just gone missing, so she can rake these people over the coals, more than likely get a bunch of people fired.
Who knows?
Restaff that particular branch, I guess, and then we gotta start over again. So, UPS, they're pretty consistent, but sometimes hit or miss depending on what you give them. I don't have any dealings with a DHL unless you're transporting.
I do know that
batteries.
Some of the most important stuff that where I currently am employed, we ship out.
Mm-hmm.
We send FedEx.
Yeah. DHL, in my experience, is good if you're using something that requires a lot of security screening. For some reason, they're just really good at that. I don't know why, but whatever. Everyone's got a specialty. But that's the thing. I'm good with shipping because I understand the process. I don't give these people shit for it.
Right.
Unless they're fucking up, in which case I know I can give them shit for it. Shipping is not a bullshit job. I know that. I believe that.
Oh, it's just like anything else.
Uh-huh.
You do it, you get good at it.
Oh yeah, and I'm very good at it.
So.
I just wish I had AC so I could be even better at it.
Yeah.
But I'm just at the point where I just don't like my job, and I got to do something different because I'm tired of the heat.
That air conditioning thing, the necklace thing.
The necklace thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it works, but it doesn't help with the humidity.
Oh.
It helps, but not really.
I got you.
Not really, because humidity is brutal. I mean,
there's no fans in there?
There is like a desk fan and a big death fan, but the death fan likes to blow cobwebs and dust. Which is not a problem after a certain...
You don't mean like one of them big vent fans that sit on the floor?
No, I ain't got one of those. I know I need one of those. I'm not paying for it.
No, you're not.
So, it's basically what has happened is I got word of a potential mass exodus. I'm having issues with the heat and everything, and having 2 jobs the price of 1. My boss, you met him. His mom recently passed away in probably one of the most gruesome ways possible. Not gruesome, I would say traumatic.
Sure.
For her family.
Sure.
I don't want to go into details, but basically it was a slow euthanasia. She was in a lot of pain. Nothing was going to work. So she said enough was enough, went home, and did not...
Wake up.
Yeah. She didn't eat, nothing. It was a slow euthanasia.
All right.
So obviously, he's a little messed up from that. Because not only is that his mom, but the way she met her end, that was not a good death. I watch Ask a Mortician. I understand the words when I say she did not meet a good death.
Okay.
So, he still has anxiety from it, like legit anxiety.
Sure.
This ain't no California, you get into a little fender bender, you gotta call your therapist anxiety. And he is just going, why am I still here at this job?
Oh, he thinks he's got nothing to lose.
He either thinks he's got nothing to lose, or he desperately wants something better.
Or his death wish.
I hope not, because he's my friend.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want something better, maybe because it can wake you up.
Yes, I think he has woken up.
It's almost like part of their spirit,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a parent.
Oh yes.
Or a relationship, especially if they die.
Mm-hmm.
When one dies close.
Yes.
I've heard stories of almost like a transference of spirit, depending on how the exit takes place. I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it might have
jarred him.
Might have jarred him.
Yeah, and I don't mean why am I still here as in why am I still alive. I mean he said it as why I'm still here as in why am I still in this job.
Right.
That's what he meant. He's hopefully not going to kill himself. He doesn't strike me as that type
it's just
person.
like people come out of this like they've had to stare death in the face.
Yes. He stared death in the face.
And they have to come out and say, yes, there's got to be something better than this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
So him, I know one person isn't going to leave that job because he doesn't like change. One person's definitely not going to leave his job because he's basically the stooge of my supervisor. The other person at my building might leave just because the other people, most of his friends are gone, I guess. So and there's a couple of other folk, but it basically reminds me of rats fleeing a sinking ship.
Well,
I'm not saying we're rats, we're just considered rats. Like, seriously, the suits they've isolated my building from the hoity-toity visitors from the companies that we work for. Like, we're the embarrassments. We're basically the rats underneath their floorboards.
Do they say this?
I'm nodding yes.
They say these phrases.
It's very recent. Like, it's been implied for several years, but it's definitely been said out in the open. Because now that I'm at now I'm at the other building.
Uh-huh.
And so I hear these whispers.
Sure.
From the suits, which technically there's only two of them, but that's still. And I'm like, oh, so if we're the rats, we're going to be the first people to leave. And you're not even going to know something's wrong.
Better watch out.
Yes.
There's a lot of people leaving jobs right now.
Oh, yes. And everyone's wanting people to have jobs.
I read an article the other day. It's called Rage Quitting. Or
they
just storm off the job.
Yes.
So that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now my plan is to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, almost immediately.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to just quit out of the blue.
No.
But if push comes to shove, I will.
Smart. Don't burn any bridges.
No, if push comes to shove, I will just walk off of the building.
You know what's so crazy about that type of situation?
What?
Because now that you have experience, here's why you leave a 2 weeks notice with.
Please.
Okay.
Remind me.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
You can, if you quit your job, wait 30 days and go back, you'll make more money.
Really?
Because see, what happens is when you get hired,
yes,
they pay you based on your experience in said field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically what happens is the percentages of new hire pay go up while the percentages of current workers kind of slows down.
Stagnates.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can.
Yeah.
So if you quit and give your 2 weeks notice,
yes,
which gives
them time to find a replacement.
Well, it's not just that. It also corners them into, if you were to reapply, they would have to consider you because you followed policy. You gave them the 2, whatever the notice is. 2 weeks, whatever it is. Usually standard is 2 weeks.
Sometimes 1 week.
People say, well, why would I ever think about going back? Well,
you never know.
You never know. You never know. You get involved in a new enterprise that, bird in the hand's worth two in the bush sometimes.
Yes.
Make sure you get a good footing on something. But the thing about it is if you go back to the original place, that would mean that the job is open, which
Yes.
means that whoever they hired to replace you didn't
Uh-huh.
work out.
Yeah.
And
then they realize, oh, wait, that person we let go.
You can come back at a higher amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now you have the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why you give a 2-week notice. It's not just being for the man, it's that kind of, I mean, that's wisdom.
Yes. No, I agree.
Now,
I agree.
I do understand wanting to storm off the job.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, if push come to shove, I could, but so far nothing has really come up to where someone would directly, if I was like directly confronted by a suit and berated, I would storm off the job, because that's inexcusable, especially with everyone leaving their jobs.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I have the ears of several people across the nation.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically, let's just say one of the suits got the cojones to speak ill of me in front of me. I would say, okay. And I would send off a few emails to the people in the field being like, hey, guess what? There's going to be a massive downsizing. I hope you have your resumes ready, and grab all my it and leave. Basically, it's like throwing a grenade into a room and leaving.
Sure, but
Now, I don't mean to. I don't say that to speak at existence.
Yeah, don't give power to stuff.
No. I'm just saying there's a reason why they don't say the rats thing to me.
Right.
Or to my boss.
Well, that's not cool anyway.
Oh, it's not cool anyway. I'm just saying there are, these actions. There will be consequences to your actions.
Well, if you're blinded, something like that is what it takes to make you see.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but
happens.
hey, sometimes it happens. Yeah, earlier today was just really rough. There was a storm that blew by the building. I literally just ran out in circles in the rain because it was hot, and I was like, I hate this job. I don't want to be a person today.
Sweet summer rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the moment where it's like, I want to go back to being the elven princess blade warrior. That was funner.
Most fun.
Most funnerest.
Most funnerest.
Yeah, but, that's why I came home and my clothes were wet. I was just like, get the rain on my face.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. And, picked up my ma, took her over to, somewhere else. She's having fun. Actually, no, she's not having fun, but I don't want to get into that.
No. Saw your beast chase off some geese.
My Leo. My big black Doge.
Talk about Black Lightning, buddy.
Yeah, Black Lightning for short. That's probably the name of a black exploitation movie, Black Lightning.
I think it's actually going to be a movie here shortly.
Oh, what? Like a Black Dynamite spin-off or something?
No, like superhero. Marvel.
Ah.
I think.
Well, they already had Black Panther.
The Rock's doing it.
The Rock's doing it.
Yeah.
Is it a DC thing?
Yeah. Is Black?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know who Black Lightning is. I know Black Panther.
Okay.
Except he's dead.
It's probably DC then.
Yeah. Except the problem is the guy playing Black Panther, he's fucking dead.
Yeah, it's sad.
He's like from our hometown.
Well.
Or someone's hometown. Like just a hop, skip, and a few ways away. Yeah, local. He's local. He's from the southeast.
And he was good.
It was so good. I was so sad.
James Brown biopic.
Oh, he was fantastic.
I watch that every day.
Uh-huh.
Too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think The Rock's doing that. It's a Black Lightning or
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, more power to him. I like The Rock. Yeah, he's done well for him.
I'll tell you something.
He's done well for himself.
Yeah, he's so muscular right now. If he had a cramp, it would kill him.
Yeah. You think he still does juice?
Oh, I would not say one way or the other.
All right. I mean, I know he's black, Samoan, and
well, I'm gonna tell you, there's only
he's got a bunch of genetics.
Oh yeah.
But there has to be some juice.
You can only carry so much muscle and be that lean naturally.
Yes.
Your body will, you dump that fat, that body will start eating that muscle. Okay, and the ability. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you did it for a living,
sure,
your basically multiple contests teaches you how to peak.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's very difficult to peak.
Yes.
Day after day after day after day.
Oh, it's difficult to hit your peak and plateau from it.
And stay there.
And stay there.
It's near impossible to do.
Yes.
To get there,
mm-hmm.
I mean,
you can get
0.1% of the population would even come close to having that type of genetic ability. And
guess what? They're Russian and Polish.
Well, no, there's some Pacific Islanders in there, definitely.
Well, he is part Pacific Islander. He is,
yes, that's my understanding. I'm just saying. Wait till you see him. There's this scene where he takes his shirt off, man. You see what I'm talking about? It's like, it's hard to...
I know what he looks like without his shirt off. Back in when he was wrestling?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. No.
Or do you mean current?
I'm talking about currently. Oh. It's hard to find you don't really see a whole lot of pictures of him. So they're hiding it. When he hits the screen, buddy, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, even then, you're probably not going to know because they could, like, digitally alter it. Like, post-production.
It's possible.
But I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I believe it. But that's just kind of how my weekend went, you know. Renaissance Fair and work.
I worked.
Yeah, you worked. Cooked. Napped. Attempted to cook again.
Naps sound good.
Yep. Ugh. Yeah, this was just a weird weekend, I'm not gonna lie. Of highs and lows. Obviously the low was today, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, today it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, I want to go back to the fantasy. What?
What did you drink?
Green tea.
Green tea?
Yes.
At this hour?
It's green tea! It's low-grade green tea.
Still got caffeine.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. This is the Roy G. Biv blend.
I'm sorry. What are you talking to me about?
What?
Just a little bit of caffeine.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I know.
I want to go outside and break dance.
Yeah, you do a couple laps around the house.
Nah, I'll let the dog do that for me. All right, I'm good for now. I mean, unless you just want to keep talking, but that's up to you.
No, I gotta cut this tonight.
All right.
I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, I can oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. So, I guess we gotta cut it here, but that's okay. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.